stop what you're doing. Just stop and listen. Because what I'm about to tell you, most people will never hear. Not because it's a secret, but because the world is too loud for them to hear it. You wake up every morning, you scroll through your phone, you go through the motions, and somewhere, deep inside, there's a voice asking, is this really it? Is this really who I am? That voice is not anxiety. That voice is not weakness. That voice is you, trying to find its way home. Today, we talk about the most important journey you will ever take. Not to another country, not to a better job, but inward, to yourself. Here is the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Most people today are not living their own lives. They are living a version of their life written by everyone else. Think about it. From the moment you were born, the world started programming you. Your parents told you what career was safe. Your school told you what intelligence looked like. Your friends told you what was cool and what wasn't. And social media? Social media became the loudest voice of all. Every day, thousands of images, thousands of people showing you what success looks like, what beauty looks like, what happiness looks like. And slowly, without even realizing it, you began to compare. You began to shrink. You began to ask yourself, why don't I look like that? Why don't I have what they have? What is wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you. Everything is wrong with the mirror you've been given. Because you have been measuring yourself against a standard that was never meant for you. A standard built by society to keep you consuming, doubting, and dependent. The real tragedy is not failure. The real tragedy is spending your entire life becoming someone you were never meant to be. Inside you, right now, there is something unique, something strange, something the world has never quite seen before. Maybe it's the way your mind makes connections others can't. Maybe it's an obsession with something nobody around you understands. Maybe it's a passion you've been hiding because you're afraid people will laugh. That thing, that weird, unexplainable, embarrassing thing, that is your power. But most people spend their entire lives hiding it. Why? Because the world punishes difference. It rewards conformity. It applauds people who fit in and quietly destroys those who don't. So people learn to hide. They dress the same. They talk the same. They chase the same dreams written in the same template, sold by the same system. But think about the people who actually changed the world. Albert Einstein couldn't hold a normal job. His teachers called him a slow learner. He sat alone, lost in thought, obsessed with things no one cared about. Leonardo da Vinci was so different from everyone around him that people didn't know whether he was a painter, a scientist, or a madman. He was all three, and more. Muhammad Ali walked into a room and said things that made people cringe and laugh. I am the greatest. Everyone thought he was arrogant. History decided he was right. What made these people extraordinary was the very thing that made them strange. Your weirdness is not weakness. Your weirdness is identity. The things you secretly love. The way your mind quietly works at 2 a.m. The interests that light you up but make others raise an eyebrow. Those are not flaws to fix. Those are clues to who you really are. So, how do you find yourself? Let me be honest with you. It doesn't happen overnight. There is no movie scene where the music swells and suddenly everything makes sense. Real self-discovery is slow. It's patient. It's painful. And it requires you to dig. Like an archaeologist sifting through ruins, layer by layer, you must uncover the person buried underneath years of expectations. Years of you should be. Years of why aren't you more like. Years of quiet surrender. Start with this question. What excited you as a child? Before the world got to you? Before the opinions? before the grades, before the pressure? What made you feel alive? Maybe it was building things. Maybe it was telling stories. Maybe it was drawing, dancing, numbers, animals, machines. Whatever it was, write it down. Because that child knew something about you that years of conditioning have tried to erase. The second question is harder. What do you deeply love, but have been afraid to admit? Not what looks good on a resume, not what your parents would be proud of, not what your friends would respect. What do you love? Because if you build your life on other people's approval, you will spend years running a race that leads somewhere you never wanted to go. And when you finally get there, tired, successful, and hollow, you'll ask yourself the most devastating question. Is this it? Was this really worth it? Don't wait until then to start looking for yourself. Start now. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. The world rewards conformity. If you dare to be different, if you dare to walk your own path, people will doubt you. They will laugh at you, they will misunderstand you, and some will actively try to pull you back to where they are. Good. Because pressure creates strength. Opposition creates growth. And resistance is the very thing that separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. Muhammad Ali once said that without Joe Frazier, he would never have become the fighter he became. His greatest enemy made him his greatest self. Think about that. The thing you're fighting right now, the doubt, the criticism, the obstacles, that is the resistance training your soul needs. Without struggle, there is no transformation. Easy lives create comfortable people. Difficult lives create depth. Look at 50 Cent. Before he became one of the most powerful names in music and business, he was dropped by his record label, shot 9 times and left for dead. Nobody believed in him. The industry closed every door. But instead of quitting, he adapted. He stopped waiting for someone to give him permission. He built his own lane. He distributed his own music. He connected directly with the streets, with the people. And he came back, not just as an artist, but as a force. That failure didn't break him. It built him. Because sometimes success too early destroys people. Success without struggle creates arrogance, fragility, people who fall apart the moment things get hard. But failure teaches you survival. It teaches you strategy. It keeps your feet on the ground. It shows you who you really are when nobody is watching, when nobody is clapping, when nobody believes. That's where character is born. Here's what I want you to hear right now. You do not need to have everything figured out today. If you are in your 20s and feel completely lost, that is normal. That is not a sign something is wrong with you. That is actually a sign that you are awake enough to ask the right questions. Most people sleepwalk through their 20s, chasing things they were told to want. The job, the salary, the status. And they wake up at 40 wondering why they feel empty. You are already ahead just by asking the question. But here's what matters. Direction. You don't need the full map. You just need a direction. A reason to wake up. A purpose bigger than your comfort zone. And purpose is not found by following trends. Purpose is not found by copying what's working for someone else. Purpose is found by going inward. By sitting in silence, which most people avoid, and asking the hard questions. What do I truly love? Not what looks impressive. What genuinely excites me? What problem in the world breaks my heart? Because where your pain meets your passion, that's where purpose lives. What kind of life would feel meaningful to me? Not to society, not to my parents, to me. These questions don't have instant answers. Sit with them. Let them breathe. Come back to them. The answers will rise. And when you find even a small thread, pull it, follow it, even if it scares you, especially if it scares you. Let me leave you with this. Life is short, brutally, painfully, shockingly short. One day you will look back and the years will blur together. The energy you have right now, this curiosity, this hunger, this fire, it will not always be there at this intensity. So do not waste it trying to be someone else. Do not spend your most alive years shrinking yourself to fit into crowds that were never meant to contain you. Stop waiting for permission. Nobody is coming to give you the green light. Nobody is going to hand you your purpose on a silver tray. You have to claim it. You have to build it. You have to be bold enough, terrifyingly bold, to embrace what makes you different. Because the people who change the world are never the people who try to be normal. They are the ones who are brave enough and stubborn enough to become themselves, fully, unapologetically, completely. That person, that's you, if you choose it. Don't scroll to the next video. Don't open social media. Just sit for 5 minutes in silence and ask yourself one question. Who am I when nobody is watching? The answer to that question is the beginning of everything. Take care of yourself. Stay strange, stay curious, and never stop becoming.